Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Vitumela Magoshani, the creator of the Be Smart Budget, your sister in budgeting, and of course, the self-appointed personal finance activist. Please note, all opinions shared on this channel is not financial advice. If you are seeking financial advice, speak to someone who's certified and registered with the FSCA. So guys, today I want to talk about balloon payments. So what is a balloon payment? So a week ago, I posted a video on TikTok and I said in the video, if your car has a balloon payment, it means you cannot afford the car, And one of the comments that I got was from a gentleman, and he says no, a balloon payment, he took it because he is planning to trade in his car in 3 years, so it will fall off when he goes to trade in his car. Okay. And I think that's good enough. But one of the people said, no, that is not true. You choose whether you want a balloon payment or not. And I am laughing because a balloon payment is initially taking, balloon payment is, it allows you to take a certain amount from your initial cost, and you paid later at a later stage. And this allows you to be able to afford a car that you wouldn't initially afford, that you wouldn't initially have the affordability for. So in my understanding, that is what a balloon payment is. So it is when the bank says, okay, we have so much, the dealership allows you a balloon payment. They go to the bank and they only put in a certain amount for financing. So let's say your car is 200,000 and the dealership goes to the bank and says, okay, finance this person for 180,000, and the rest of that they can pay at the end of the financial period of the financing period, which is the 20,000. So that is my understanding. And then the interest is calculated on the 200,000 instead of the interest repayment is calculated on the 200,000, but your initial monthly installment is calculated on the 180,000, creating affordability for you, because you find that the 20,000 was the barrier between you and affording this car. So now you only pay, your monthly installments are only now for 180,000, and you get to pay the rest of the money at the end of the financing term, especially if you cannot come up with the deposit right away. So there's a scenario of a person that I know. This person wanted a car, and West Bank was financing them, and West Bank said, no, without the 10% deposit we cannot give you the car, because if we give you this car without this 10% deposit, you will not be able to afford the monthly installment. So it's either they paid the deposit or they negotiated a balloon payment with West Bank. So that is what a balloon payment is. So what is the benefit of a balloon payment to you, the person that is buying the car? What is the advantage? The advantage is that it allows you to get a car. It enables you to buy a car that you wouldn't initially afford, straight away afford, so like without a sizable upfront deposit. So when a car it's either you have a deposit, or it has a balloon payment, or it's just you just afford the car, So that is what normally they play around with your interest. That's why you find that some cars don't have a fixed interest, but they have a variable interest, because they had to play around with your interest so that you can afford the car. So they had to play around with your lending rate, and this normally happens if you have a really good credit score. They can then play around with your lending rate. You can negotiate a better one, and you end up with a variable cost, with a variable interest, where it changes, and they are still able to make their money back, So what are the pros of a balloon payment? It lowers your monthly premium. And you usually don't require, the second thing is you usually don't require a deposit for your car, so because now you have this balloon payment, and it allows you to drive a more expensive car for a lower amount in the story term, no? So it allows you to drive a very expensive car but with a very low installment monthly, and then it frees up capital. Let's say that you had the deposit to buy the car, but then you decide no, to go the balloon payment route. So now you can take that deposit and have it as capital. And then the other advantage is that you can refinance a balloon payment. So for example, you are now reaching your end of your financing term and you have to pay this 30,000 rand back. What you can do is you can then say no, refinance this, and I'll pay it over a certain period of time in refinance at the end of the initial loan, you know, so you are able to refinance it. What are the cons of a balloon payment? A lump sum is owed at the end of the long term. So they say, okay, at the end of the 72 months, we want our 20,000 rand, we want it in cash. So sometimes, because you were not initially affording this car monthly, that's why you ended up having to have a balloon payment, because you were not going to be able to afford the extras and this car if you hadn't done it, if hadn't gone the balloon payment route. It is often difficult to raise the money at the end. So it is often very difficult to be able to raise the 30,000 that you require to have at the end of your initial period, loan period that you have to pay. So it is hard. And then sometimes the lump sum cannot be financed. So sometimes you go back to your bank and you want to renegotiate with them, and you say, listen here, I want to renegotiate this balloon payment, and I want it to be refinanced. They refuse. So you now have to pay it all, to pay it right there and then, and sometimes you don't have the money. So yeah, the other disadvantage there is that a balloon payment can create excess debt if not managed well. Yeah, so it can create excess debt if not managed well. So that is what a balloon payment is, guys. It is if you have listened to this video very well, you gather that it is making room for you to afford the car. So it could be good, it could be bad, as other people explain it. I say if you are planning on trading in the car in the next 3 years, but I don't think I don't think most people buy their cars with the plan to trade it in 3 years. Unless that is your plan, then it's good to take a balloon payment, because it falls off when you trade in the car, you know, because sometimes the car you're getting is cheaper, or you know, but it just falls off. But if you're not planning, I don't think it is something that you should be gladly taking. I don't think a balloon payment, it should be something that you are gladly taking and you're proud of having, because it initially means you're driving a car that you do not afford, and I'm standing on that. Okay guys, so thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, don't fall into the trap of a balloon payment. Mwah.